Hello, welcome to my 6-part series about football for people who know absolutely nothing about football at all. This aims to give you enough basic information so you can enjoy the beautiful game without turning to the person next to you and saying, "What's VAR? Was that a penalty? I don't understand offside. What in the name of all that is holy is going on?" You'll no longer need to do that. You will know. Football then, what is it? I will explain all the very basics. At its simplest, this is what it is. Two teams, each trying to get a ball into the other's goal using any part of the body except the hands. Whoever does it more often wins. That's the whole game in a single sentence. Everything else is just detail. Now the sport is played on a pitch, which is a big rectangle marked out with white lines. You see, I told you this would be very basic. Every one of those lines means something. The line running right across the middle is the halfway line because it divides it into two halves. It splits the pitch. Half for each team to attack. And the circle in the very centre is called the centre circle. There you go. That's where every single match begins, with the kick-off right from the middle. At the end of each side of the pitch is the goal, the frame with the net around it. There's one at each end, and getting the ball into it is the entire point of the afternoon. Now around each goal there's a big painted box. That's the penalty area. Everyone just calls it the box, but hold on to this one because it matters more than the other markings on the pitch, and we will come back to it. And though I said that no players can use their hands when they're playing, the goalkeeper can, but only inside that box. If a defending player commits a foul inside their own box, the other team gets a penalty, which is one of the biggest moments in all of football. When you hear people shouting about something happening in the box, that's what they mean. We'll come on to penalties a bit later in another video, but that penalty box is the key asset in deciding whether someone gets a penalty or not. In each corner of the pitch, there's a little painted quarter circle, and that's where corners are taken. We'll come to those properly in the video about the laws of the game. Now, the people who play football. Each team has 11 players on the pitch, 11 aside, 22 in total, all chasing one ball, which when you say it out loud sounds like pure chaos, but there's a lovely order to it, and it comes down to jobs. There are 4 kinds of players. You can spot them by where they stand and what they do. First is the goalkeeper. Every team has one. They guard the goal. They wear a different colour so you can always pick them out. And as we said, they're the only player allowed to handle the ball and only inside that penalty box. Then just in front of the goalkeeper are the defenders. Their job is to stop the other team scoring, to protect their own goal, to back up the goalkeeper, to be the defence that sits in front of the goalkeeper. In the middle of the pitch are the midfielders. They're the engine room. They do a bit of everything, linking the defence and the attack, and they tend to run further than anyone else on the pitch. Then at the far end, closest to the goal they're attacking, are the attackers, also called forwards or strikers. Theirs is the glamorous job, to score the goals. Goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, attackers. If you can see those 4 layers when you watch a game from back to front, you'll have a really good idea of what's going on. There are a couple of quick extras to add in at this point, not complicated, but a team does not have to keep the same 11 players all the way through the game. They have substitutes waiting on the sidelines, and they can bring fresh players on to replace tired or injury ones a limited number of times. It depends on the laws of the particular tournament or league they're playing in as to how many they can bring on. One player in each team wears an armband on the outside of their shirt where you can see it, and that's the captain's armband, indicating that they're the captain of the team, the leader out on the pitch. So we've had a look at the pitch and the players who inhabit it. Now we're going to look at what they have to do to win. How do you actually win in football? Beautifully simple. You score more goals than the other team. Every goal counts as exactly 1, however it goes in. Scruffy or spectacular, it makes no difference. Score more than your opposition and you're the winner. Score the same and it's a draw. Score fewer and you lose. And in a big knockout tournament like the World Cup, where someone has to go through, a draw gets settled afterwards by extra time, and after that by penalties. We'll look at those in a future episode. And that, believe it or not, is the foundation of the sport. Now you know what football is, the most important areas of the pitch, the 11 players and the job they do, and how a game is won. Picture that pitch, the white lines, the goal to either end, the 11 players in their 4 jobs, and hopefully it should feel a little less mysterious than when we started. You might well be thinking, if it's really that simple, why does the whole world lose its head over it? Why do grown adults cry and sing and hug total strangers, all because of a ball going into a net? Well, here's the wonderful thing. Football is loved precisely because it's so simple. You don't need expensive equipment. You do not need to be tall or rich or fast. Anywhere in the world, all you need is a ball and something to aim at. 2 jumpers on the ground will do, and you have a game. That's why it's played on every street and every beach on the planet, and why people call it the world's game. And what's important is that within those simple rules, lying deep within them, lives every drama you could possibly imagine. A goal in the very last minute that breaks one set of hearts and sends another into raptures. A tiny country knocking out a mighty one. The agony of a missed penalty and the joy of winning one. 90 minutes in which anything can happen. Football is simple to understand, but utterly impossible to predict. There's no script. Even the most fantastic team in the world can lose to a smaller team who's not as talented on the day. That's why people fall in love with it. And by the end of this season, I hope you might too. You never know. Right, next time we'll look at the main laws of the game, the handful of things that the referee is watching for, so you'll know why the whistle keeps going and what the players are doing wrong. I'll see you then.